Well, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning. It's Monday, January 23rd.
Happy Monday. Not a happy Monday for the Cowboys fans. I'm one of those.
I've got notes here because I'm going to talk with David Sears a little bit later on. Much to discuss, including what someone would argue is a controversial tweet by Governor Greg Abbott himself last night.
Right.
I guess during or right after the game. We're going to show that to you coming up. But we verified it, and it is from Governor Abbott.
Has something to do with the Cowboys kicker. That's
yes,
all I will say for now. Justin, the weather this weekend, beautiful.
Beautiful.
Stunning. Is today going to be another beautiful day?
So you're going to start with the Cowboys and then bring it to me. Just bring it down.
Yeah.
And then
You can
cheer us up with
Jump in.
We've got good news. If you're upset about the Cowboys, which we all are, we've got some rain headed our way, and it's a good chance of rain coming up tomorrow morning. First, let's start with the current temperatures. As Sarah mentioned, it was a great weekend. Beautiful weather. Yesterday was really nice. It'll be a little windy in the morning, but once the wind died down, it was gorgeous. 45 right now, 34 in Kerrville, 45 Honda, 42 in Uvalde. We did get down to freezing in a few spots in the Hill Country. Now back above that mark at this hour, and we'll see those temperatures warm up pretty quickly today. 37 there in Comfort, 42 Rio Medina, 48 Castroville, 45 right now at Randolph. Here's our KSAT 12-hour forecast. Temperatures today should make it up to around 61 or so. We're going to see mostly sunny skies. It's not until tonight that we start to see the clouds increase a little bit, and that probably happens after sunset, and then things change pretty rapidly overnight into tomorrow. Mountain Cedar did jump up some, which we expected, but it wasn't a huge jump. 110 and moderate. That's the current reading. Molds are low at 230. Here are the weather headlines. We're talking about that rain. Timing. The rain is tonight. We think it'll be a wet morning commute tomorrow, and it'll last through about midday on your Tuesday. How much? Potentially up to an inch of rain here in San Antonio. We'll see some higher totals east of town. And what about severe weather? We can't rule out a strong storm, but severe weather, widespread severe weather is not likely. We'll have much more on all of this and time it out for you coming up here in just a few minutes, guys.
Justin, thank you. We want to take you out to Highway 90 westbound at State Highway 211 right now. We've got a major collision that's got a couple of lanes blocked off. As a matter of fact, looks like all lanes are currently blocked off. Again, Highway 90, State Highway 211, way west of downtown. If we get some more information on that, we'll let you know. The call came out around 8:30 this morning. First responders are there on the scene.
Let's take a look at today's 9 at 9.
Authorities are trying to figure out what sparked the shooting rampage Saturday night outside of Los Angeles. Police confirmed the 72-year-old suspect was found dead Sunday of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. Meanwhile, in the largely Asian American community in Monterey Park, there is grief and shock over the 10 people killed and the others injured.
Testimony is scheduled to begin today in the murder trial of Andre McDonald. The Air Force major is accused of killing his wife back in 2019. Last week, the jurors were selected and the judge ruled on some pre-trial motions. If found guilty, McDonald faces up to life in prison. We will be live streaming the trial gavel to gavel on KSAT.com, KSAT Plus, and our YouTube channel.
President Biden is facing new criticism from both Republicans and Democrats after the FBI searched his Delaware home and found even more documents marked classified. The growing scandal comes amid a shakeup at the White House. Jeff Zients, who served as White House COVID response coordinator, is expected to take over as chief of staff, replacing Ron Klain, who's stepping down in the coming weeks.
President Biden issued a presidential memorandum that allows access to medication abortion. Vice President Kamala Harris also called on Congress to pass federal protections on the matter. Abortion is currently legal in about 24 states and banned or severely restricted in 13 others. The remaining states are either in limbo or legal with restrictions under 20 weeks of pregnancy.
School leaders in Virginia will begin transitioning students back to class on Wednesday at an elementary school where a first grader shot his teacher. The school has been closed since January 6th. On Wednesday, the school will reopen for a couple of hours to give students and parents a chance to ease back into a routine, and a plan is expected to be announced next week with an official date for students to return to class.
A celebration of life for Lisa Marie Presley. As she was laid to rest at Graceland, nearly 5,000 mourners attended the funeral at the Memphis home made famous by her rock legend father Elvis. Lisa Marie was laid to rest next to her son Benjamin. who died by suicide in 2020. Lisa Marie's cause of death has not been determined yet. Officials are still waiting for toxicology results.
Investors hope we are a little more than a week away from a slowdown in interest rate hikes. The Fed starts its first two-day meeting of the year a week from tomorrow, and recent comments from officials are setting expectations on a hike of a quarter point. The Fed boosted a key rate a half point last month.
Lots of plans changing at a lot of tech companies. Many companies, including Meta, Microsoft, and Google, have shelved some of their so-called moonshot projects as they cut tens of thousands of jobs. Several say they're focusing on areas of current growth.
Time to start getting ready to do your taxes. Tax season kicks off today, and things might look a little different this year for many taxpayers. Tax refunds might be a little smaller this year. Experts say that's due in part to the expiration of some tax break enhancements that were in effect the previous tax year. And that's today's 9 at 9. In your morning headlines, inflation is putting a dent into the dating world.
And a feel-good story to start the week from the ashes of tragedy. We have David Sears for our morning headlines. Good morning, David.
Yeah, you're going to like this one, especially if you're into collecting things.
Okay.
This is about collections. We'll have that for you in just a second. We're going to start with this. We're going to start with a small engine aircraft that the pilot ended up landing see it right there? In the middle of a highway in Houston. The plane was having engine trouble, and that's what forced the pilot to find a spot to put down. On his way to the ground, the pilot clipped an 18-wheeler and then hit the concrete barrier, and that caused the plane to catch fire. So here's the good news. The pilot was able to walk away. So was the driver of the 18-wheeler. No other people involved. The highway was the Grand Parkway at Cypress Rose Hill. That's where it took place. That's northwest of downtown Houston. The NTSB and FAA all investigating right now. King Charles III is going to celebrate for 3 days in May with the coronation. The coronation itself is actually a solemn religious service as well as a celebration and 3 days of pageantry, although it'll be a little more low-key than Queen Elizabeth's coronation 70 years ago due to the economic times Britain finds itself in. Over the 3 days, there will be a coronation big lunch, a coronation concert, and the big help out day, folks volunteering in their communities. This will all happen in the first weekend of May. As if inflation isn't not putting a big enough dent in dating, now dating apps want you to pay a premium for using their matchmaking skills. Take Tinder, for instance. They are trying to get a gauge from users on charging them $500 a month, but they don't say what kind of benefits you're going to get with that upgrade. Hinge also starting a membership that has a price increase for their highly motivated daters. There is a tier of $50 to $60 a month. That's an increase from the current $35 a month. They do have some benefits. Likes get quicker looks and better profile recommendations. Here's the problem. The downside, you might find your date of your dreams, but you can only afford a fast food joint paying all that money. Or maybe a movie with no popcorn or dots. That wouldn't be good, would it? You don't.
Don't give dating advice, David.
All right, here is your feel-good story for the start of the week. From the ashes of tragedy happened in Denver. Katrina Martinez and her 3 children lost their home and everything in it to a fire. The oldest child, Adam, suffered burns trying to put the fire out. Among items that they lost was Adam's valuable sports card collection, handed down from his grandpa's grandpa. Now to the good part. Mike Fruitman is a card dealer and owner of Mike's Stadium Sports Cards there in Aurora. He heard about the fire, wanted to help. He invited Adam to the shop and let him pick out any cards he wanted. He went to the section with his favorite teams, the Denver Nuggets, the Las Vegas Raiders. A few employees also presented him with a Nikola Jokic jersey.
I wanted to change things. I can't go back. I can't rebuild a house or stop fires, but I can make somebody smile. I started collecting when I was 8 years old, so I get the value of, not just the value of cards, but what they mean. It's a collection. It's something that's really important. So when I hear somebody who loses their cards, I want to do all I can to help.
Yeah, Mike also able to get Adam's little brother Pokemon cards so he could restart his collection. So great gesture there from the store owner with all those. And the store owner, as you can see, has plenty of cards. So you don't think I can give dating advice, Sarah?
No, I don't think you should.
If you spend all your money trying to find the date, you got no money left to go on the date.
Well, I don't
I'm
advise
saying.
anyone to pay $500 for a dating I'm married though, so I'm just happy that I don't have to
I'm
do
gonna
the swiping
stay
thing.
out of this one. And we're going to talk Cowboys coming
Yeah.
up. We've
What
got
was
the
it?
soapbox ready to go.
Have you priced dots in the theater lately?
I don't go to the theater.
All right, so Sarah's out of the conversation completely.
I shouldn't be
Take
giving
her.
data
I'll be
advice
back. We'll
either,
talk Cowboys.
apparently.
And you got a walk-off from Mr. Sears.
Yeah, that's enough
9:08,
for me.
45 degrees, still ahead on GMSA at 9.
A local bar owner not happy about the plans to expand the Alamo Visitor Center Museum. Lee Waldman explains a battle over this property.
What you need to know before you start filing your taxes this year. Alyssa Cole will share some advice after the break. Welcome back. 9/11, we mentioned earlier that today is the first day you can start filing your taxes. And the last few years, there have been some big changes and some new laws.
Some in connection with the pandemic. Alyssa Cole spoke with a tax expert about what we can expect when we file this year.
As we reach the end of January, keep an eye out for the W-2s and 1099s in your mailbox because it's time to meet with your tax preparer or hop online to file returns yourself. The message IRS officials have for South Texans is make sure your records are accurate, especially documents from your employer, because if they are inaccurate, it could lead to a smaller return.
And when you get them, please take a look at them. Make sure they are correct. If you look at them and from your employer and it doesn't match what your last pay stub says, contact the employer. Don't file with that bad information, and the IRS can't fix it for you.
Several tax credits will return to pre-pandemic levels this year, including child tax credits. People who got $3,600 per dependent for the 2021 tax year will only get $2,000 for 2022.
There have been a number of changes to the tax laws. Most of them were COVID related, and they've gone away.
And of course, tax season means we could see an uptick in tax scams or fraud attempts. According to the IRS, over 90% of data theft begins with a phishing email. IRS officials say the earlier you file, the less opportunity there will be to fall victim to fraud.
Because if someone has taken your identity and stolen it, they may have filed before you. If your return is accepted, that means nobody got in before you did. But if it's not, that gives you an immediate heads up that you need to start taking action, contacting the IRS and your tax professional.
Alyssa Cole, KSAT 12 News.
And remember, you can file your taxes for free through the IRS. It's called IRS Free File. I just found it online.
It's available to anyone who makes $73,000 or less a year. This does not include state taxes, but there are low-cost options for those eligible. Also head to KSAT.com to learn more.
Remember, here in Texas, no state income taxes. So you don't have to worry about that part if you're new to our state.
That's the nice part.
Yeah, it's a big deal. All right, outside with live cam, we had a beautiful morning, and I wonder if this is kind of portends to things to come, the clouds that are out there right now.
Yeah, we'll start to see some increasing clouds later this afternoon and this evening, and that is kind of the leading edge of this storm system, which is it's a big storm system, and it's one that has moved closer to us than any storm system we've seen in several weeks.
So there's a bigger chance.
Yes, a good chance for rain. In fact, I would say plan for wet roads tomorrow morning on your Tuesday morning commute. As we look at how many days since, and I think this is always an interesting number, since the airport has seen one day where we had 2 inches or more. That was 466 days ago. You got to go back to 2021. How long has it been since we've had an inch or more of rain at the airport? 151 days. It's been 64 days now since we've had a half inch or more. So we are just keep stacking these days up. Now, these are not records, and this isn't a perfect stat, but I think it gives you a good idea of how long it's been since we've had a really good rain here in San Antonio, at least near the airport. And as we go outside for you and look at the weather headlines, we are talking, yes, good rain chances. So rain tonight, then we're going to get a wet morning commute tomorrow, almost a certainty at this point. And how much rain could we see here in San Antonio? Well, we're expecting around an inch. Higher totals will be off to the east, lower totals to the west. And I'll show you the map here in just a second. But we could severely alter those numbers that you just saw. Hopefully, that would be a good thing. What about severe weather? We can't rule out a strong storm with this system, but I don't think it's going to be widespread. If we're going to see any good chances of maybe a strong storm, it's going to be east of here. 45 right now. It's a chilly morning. Dew point is at 28. Easterly winds at about 8 miles per hour. Expect those winds to pick up this afternoon. We'll see some gusts up around 25 miles per hour. 57 noontime, we'll call it sunny, but we start to add in those clouds by 4 or 5 o'clock. 61 at 4 o'clock, 60 at 5 p.m. And those winds are anywhere from 10 to 15, gusting to 20. And then by 8 p.m., partly cloudy, mostly cloudy by 9 o'clock. And the wind gust forecast today, yes, those gusts pick up, especially as we get into tonight. Into the overnight hours, we could see some gusts 25, maybe even 30 miles per hour as this storm system approaches. And there it is. It's out over Arizona right now. You can see the spin very nicely here on water vapor. And this is taking more of a southerly track, and that's why our rain chances are higher than they have been. As this pulls into Texas, we will see quite a bit of weather. Rain here, yes, but snow across the Texas Panhandle. Even the Metroplex could even see a few flakes. So this is a dynamic system. We are not looking for any wintry weather here, just rain and perhaps a few storms. So let's time it out for you. 5 o'clock today still shows mostly sunny skies. Clouds, though, increasing out west. Then we get to, say, midnight. We're starting to see showers developing across our western counties, even a few light showers here in town. We'll put in a 20% chance of rain. By 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, we're up to 60%. Widespread showers, few downpours, some thunderstorms mixed in there too, and the heavy stuff starting to develop out west. Then by 8, 9 o'clock, good coverage of rain, 70% chance. So when we join you at this time tomorrow, we'll likely be on the radar tracking all of this for you. Then by the time we get into midday, this is 11 a.m., we'll get a line of showers and storms. This is where we could see a couple strong storms mixed in there, and this is a time frame that we'll watch closely. Again, we're not looking for a ton of severe weather, but we can't rule it out. Then by 2, 3 o'clock, this is moving east. Our eastern county is still getting in on some of the rain, but that will end by, say, 4 p.m. And then it turns windy behind this system. We'll get gusts 30 to maybe 35 tomorrow. This time out of the northwest, skies clear, and by 7 p.m. Tuesday, we've got mostly clear skies. Those gusty winds stay with us into Wednesday morning, so when it gets chilly Wednesday morning, we'll likely have some wind chills. What about rainfall potential? We mentioned San Antonio could see close to an inch of rain. I'd say between a half inch and an inch. Good, bad San Antonio. The further west you go, the lower the numbers, maybe a quarter of an inch out in Eagle Pass and Del Rio. Then as you work east, Gonzales, Howattsville could be looking at an inch to 2 inches of rain when it's all said and done. That's the kind of number we like to see. And when we're talking severe weather, the main risk is going to be across our far eastern counties and towards Houston as we get into tomorrow. So as I mentioned, 1 or 2 strong storms here, but the real risk for severe weather will be well to our east. So the extended forecast, 60 tomorrow with that 60% chance, 70% chance of showers and storms. 61 Wednesday, 58 Thursday. Notice the morning lows are in the 30s. Then we get the increasing clouds Friday. Another chance of rain shows up Saturday into Sunday. Again, tomorrow morning at this time, we'll be hopefully using the radar and talking about some good rainfall totals.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Is this going to do anything for the drought that we're in?
Maybe it helps a little bit, but it's only going to put a small dent into that. We need many more events like this one.
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah.
919, 47 degrees.
Here's a look at what's coming up next.
Good morning, I'm Max Massey. We're here at the Brighton School, and we are talking about a new program for new parents. What you need to know in just a few moments.
This morning, a new program for new infants. This is open to infants 6 weeks old to 18 months old. And Brighton School is now accepting enrollment to their newly designed infant classroom.
Max Massey joins us live from Brighton's Higgins location, which opened back on January 4th. So, Max, what inspired the new program?
Good morning, guys. New parents and people new to San Antonio. That is what inspired the program. Joined here with Katrina. So tell us about this inspiration. A lot of new parents here?
There's a lot of new parents coming to San Antonio every day. And, you know, Brighton Center is known for our focus on early education and development. And so we wanted to be a place where new families, new parents, or parents with siblings and younger kids could come and get a really high quality early childhood education. And so we started the infant program, and it's going wonderful. And, you know, our Vice President of Education has put together a very rich curriculum that helps make sure these kiddos are prepared for preschool and kindergarten and life beyond.
Okay, so speaking of the new families, is that just people moving to San Antonio?
Yeah, so San Antonio, as anybody who lives here knows, is growing at an enormously fast pace. And infant care is something that San Antonio is really short of. And so we wanted to help meet the community need and by opening a program. And so we've done that recently. We have 5 infants currently enrolled. We have 3 open spots. And then, of course, we have some availability in our preschool classrooms as well. But we really are here to help meet the need for our community.
In terms of a need at a young age, why is this so important for these kids to be in a classroom?
Well, most brain development happens between the ages of 0 and 5. And so if we can get children into a really high quality center where they're creating those skills and social, emotional, developmental foundation, they're going to be much more likely to be successful later on.
Now, we're coming off the peak of the pandemic, and a lot of people, they think about that socialization. A lot of it was lost, especially on the younger children. How important is this program now?
It's more important than ever. And I think in our older preschool classrooms, we're really seeing the effects of small children not having those social and emotional connections and learning how to follow directions and be in circle time and just peer relationships. And so if your infant's not in a preschool program or in an infant classroom, we really highly encourage it because you can never get those years back. And so enroll them. If it's not at Brighton, enroll them somewhere where they can get those critical needs met.
Now, in terms of enrolling in Brighton, you guys say 3 spots available. How can people join?
We just go to our brightonpreschool.org. There's an inquiry form you can fill out, and we do tours every Tuesday, and we can make some special accommodations for tours as well if that doesn't work with your schedule. We're really military friendly. We partner with Child Care Aware and offer military assistance for those families that are serving our country. So we're here for everybody.
Katrina, thank you so much. If you guys have any questions, we're going to have all those answers. Just head to KSAT.com. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Max.
Right now, 9:25, 47 degrees.
There's a lot more ahead on GMSA at 9, including a look at your morning sports. The Cowboys falling short in the playoffs again. Yes, I am heartbroken along with all of our Cowboys fans. David Sears, he'll be back to talk about last night's game along with Mark and a tweet that is a lot of people talking.
Plus, why the owner of a downtown San Antonio business says he's being threatened over the expansion of the Alamo Visitor Center and Museum.
Before we head to break, let's take a look at TransGuide. Again, this is a different issue. Loop 410, State Highway 151 had something going on there. That is not the same issue we showed you
Highway
earlier.
90 at 211. I think that cleared up in the last 10 or 15 minutes.
This is a new issue. When we find out more information about it, we'll let you know.
Welcome back. Let's take a live look right now. This is inside the courtroom, the murder trial of Andre McDonald here in Bexar County. The Air Force major accused of killing his wife back in 2019, and testimony is scheduled to begin right now.
Again, this is a live look with our photojournalist and reporter Erica Hernandez in the courtroom. Last week, the jurors were selected and the judge ruled on some pretrial motions. You can find the recap of those motions on KSAT.com. Now, if found guilty, McDonald faces up to life in prison. Like we said, court reporter Erica Hernandez is following this trial, and we will be live streaming it from beginning to end on KSAT.com, KSAT Plus, and on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, so look for more on that as day one gets underway. Well, on to other news this morning, a battle between a local bar owner and the government.
The owner of Moses Rose's Hideout tells Lee Waldman the future of his business is being threatened over the expanded Alamo Visitor Center and Museum.
Here comes the government again, trying to take property on the very site where we fought for Texas liberty and freedom. Why? So they can build a theater.
Just a stone's throw away from the Alamo, Vince Cantu opened Moses Rose's Hideout 12 years ago after buying the building. He comes from a family of downtown business owners.
My great-grandfather had the Victory Tavern on Flores Street 100 years ago and ran it for a while.
Cantu hoped to pass along this building to his kids to keep the legacy alive. Now, because of the planned Alamo Visitor Center and Museum, he might not have the chance.
I'm on the grounds of the Alamo, and now the government wants to take it away from me after I've built it up.
Alamo Trust, Inc., the nonprofit that manages operations and staff at the Alamo, sent this graphic that shows how Moses Rose's will impact their planned visitor center and museum. They state by not acquiring Cantu's property, the visitor center will no longer be a financially sustainable operation and will require city-state support on an annual basis. This timeline shows appraisals and purchase offers for the business. In March 2020, Cantu said he'd be willing to sell his building for $16 million the following year. Cantu says his original asking price was $15 million. a number he got factoring in how much profit his bar could make over 10 years.
We would take $10 million for the property and $5 million for the business, and never heard back from him.
In July of 2020, the Texas General Land Office, which operates the Alamo, offered Cantu $2 million for the property, which was its appraised value. Cantu rejected the offer. Between April of 2022 and December of that same year, the GLO made 2 other offers to buy the property, $2.5 million and $3.5 million. Cantu said no to both.
And as long as you can pay me enough to where I'm a 60-year-old man, I'm not going to go find another job anywhere. You can pay me enough to where I can retire and not have to worry about it anymore, then great. Otherwise, leave me alone.
He says the GLO and ATI never came to the table to negotiate with him. In a statement, Alamo Trust Inc. says in part, quote, having reached an impasse with Mr. Cantu, we have no choice but to urge the City of San Antonio City Council to explore the option to acquire his property so the Alamo Visitor Center and Museum can move forward without unnecessary delay, unquote. We reached out to Cantu's city council person, Mario Bravo, whose office directed us to the city attorney's office. They state a decision will be made about Moses Roses on Thursday, when council votes on whether or not to utilize eminent domain.
There's fear involved when the government comes and tries to take something from you that you think is you're in Texas and you believe that your private property is your sanctuary.
Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
48 degrees at 9:33. We've had beautiful weather this weekend and today. Justin, I think it'd be even more beautiful if we got some rain.
Yeah, I think everyone's kind of ready for this, right? It's been so long since we've got a good soaking rain. I think the opportunity is there as we get into tonight and tomorrow morning. First, though, we are starting with some pretty nice weather. Let me take you out to St. Hedwig. This is the sunrise this morning. Beautiful, beautiful shot. Gorgeous sunrise. I agree with that. We've had a lot of blue skies here for San Antonio, although we are watching a few clouds out to the west. Some of those clouds are starting to make their way into town. If you're watching us from Uvalde, Eagle Pass, Carrizo Springs, you are seeing cloudy skies at this hour, and that's an indication that moisture is trying to come back in out ahead of our next storm system, which right now still sits to our west. 44 in Del Rio, 45 in San Antonio, 50 Kennedy, 47 Gonzales, 45 in New Braunfels. It was a chilly start. We are starting to see things warm up. 47 down at Stinson, 46 right now in Divine. Your KSAT 12-hour forecast, 57 noontime. We're up around 61 this afternoon, but we will start to see those increasing clouds. It turns cloudy overnight, and rain chances start to factor in after midnight. We're going to keep a close eye on this forecast, talk about the timing of it, and we'll have more on that here in just a few minutes.
Thank you very much, Justin. Checking traffic right now. We believe this is a minor accident, southbound 410 at Highway 151. We think it's clearing up or will be clearing up very soon.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
All right, where to begin with Mr. Sears, who is back. We're on some highlights, and then we're going to show you that tweet from Governor Abbott coming up.
We got highlights?
We do. Well, low lights. Low lights. These are definitely low lights for Cowboys fans.
I have been a Cowboys fan since I was 8 years old when they played. Oh, look at that. Oh, man, I can't hardly bear to watch this again. You gonna make me watch this again?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When they were playing in the Cotton Bowl. You remember that? Were you around when the Cowboys actually played in the Cotton Bowl? That was years ago. That's how long I've been a Cowboy fan, and I'm still going through this misery. This is just...
It's called a toxic relationship, David.
Wow, man, these guys just drive you nuts. And, well, there's Maher. Actually, I would take Maher over Dak Prescott right now.
Now, you said that earlier in the newsroom, and
I would take him. He made 2 field goals. Dak Prescott threw 2 interceptions. There's one good play right there. Here's the thing.
Tell us the thing.
He needs to go to a Cowboy camp, a quarterback camp this summer. He needs to be there tomorrow. And he needs to learn how to hit a receiver in stride, and he needs to learn how to read defenses. I looked up a story from, what's this guy's name? The guy's name is Matt Waldman. And when Dak was coming out of college 7 years ago, before he got drafted, he wrote an article about him. And one of the quotes this guy said was, Prescott is worryingly inaccurate on a majority of his throws. And he is still, to this day, inaccurate on a majority of his throws. If you go back, and I know a lot of Cowboy fans watch this game, remember the pass he threw? CeeDee Lamb was flying down the sidelines, and he underthrew him by 5 yards. He had to come back and make the catch, and there was a pass interference call on that one.
Yep.
That had touchdown written all over it. That had 90-something yard touchdown written all over it. And then in the second half, Michael Gallup was wide open down the seam, and he was running towards the center of the field, and Prescott threw the ball over his head behind him, and he had to turn. This is like 30, 40 yards down the field, and he had to turn trying to make a catch. He couldn't do it. All you had to do is throw the ball in front of him, and you got to catch. And big yards. There was two defenders down there. But he just has a hard time, so he needs to go to a camp. He needs some professional quarterback to help him learn how to anticipate where a guy's going to be. That I don't know what he was doing on that one. T.Y. Hilton was open like 3 or 4 times yesterday, and he threw it to some guy in double coverage. And it's just, I was like, come on.
See, I don't even know if this qualifies as a rant. I mean, it's more like a sad outrage on your part at this point. I know you're frustrated.
Yeah.
Here's a couple of things, though, that we haven't talked about. One. What? Tony Pollard, that was not just a high ankle sprain.
Oh, no.
He broke his leg, folks. And we didn't know that till this morning, right?
And now they're talking about making him the franchise player, so they pay him $10 million a year and he can't go anywhere after he heals.
Right. So and to be fair, I know you're ripping on Dak, and rightly so, but there's plenty of blame to go around. And of course, a lot of discussion coming into this game about Brett Maher. His first kick was blocked, but it was clearly going to go wide left.
Oh, he's going to miss that one.
Because of the kicking problems with Brett Maher.
Nah, don't go there.
Governor Greg Abbott tweeted this last night. Folks, we're just as skeptical as you are. We had to verify it, but Governor Abbott posted on his personal Twitter account, I mean, I can kick as good as the Dallas Cowboys kicker. Now, the comments we're not going to share because some people had choice words for Brett Maher, and also you thought that can't be true.
I got a push alert on that thing.
Yeah.
I saw it or whatever on the front of my phone. I went, well, somebody got in to hacked his.
No. So if you go to the official Governor Abbott account, there's a link to his personal account. As of this morning, when we checked a couple hours ago, the tweet was still there.
Was it really?
So, yeah, it was. So here's the question. Where do the Cowboys go from here? I've heard people saying online today, Dak needs to go. There's a problem. Dak's not going anywhere.
No, he's making $40 million a year.
Yeah.
He signed that $160 million contract a couple of years ago.
Right. So
he's not going anywhere. And Jerry still thinks he's the guy that's going to get him to the Super Bowl, which is why I say if you are stuck with him, get him better. Get him to learn how to read defenses and get him to learn how to anticipate pass. I mean, when he's coming out of college says it, and he hadn't gotten any better over 7. I mean, I know everybody's all excited about last week because he didn't make any mistakes. And, he had a great game, probably the best game of his entire career last week against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay was a team that was 8-9, for crying out loud. Their defense was horrible.
Let me ask you real quick before we go on to the matchups here. Does this cost Mike McCarthy his job, yes or no?
It depends on who's out there.
Well, we know who's out there. Yeah. And one of them is a guy Jerry Jones has talked about in the past. That's Sean McVay.
Sean Payton and
Sean Payton. Yeah,
well,
sorry.
both
Sean
of them
Payton. Yeah,
be out there.
That's true.
So
yeah, but Sean Payton is
I don't know if this is enough to cost him his job or not. There's going to be some. There's going to be change. How about but the defense was great.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't rely on your defense to do everything for you. At some point, you got to score. So we'll see.
Here's where we go now. So the Niners played lights out yesterday. Note about that. Now they're going to play against the high-powered Philadelphia Eagles. That's coming up Sunday, 2 o'clock in the first game. Did you watch Bengals-Bills too?
Yeah, I did. That was a snowstorm up there. That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
And I was surprised, but the Bengals are now in the AFC Championship game for the second year. This is a surprise to a lot of people, except Bengals. They knew they could win. He had a great game. Josh Allen didn't have such a great game. Look at that snow. No. That's fun right there now. That's
Bengals came into this with a chip on their shoulder.
Football. Well,
they didn't want to play that neutral game thing.
No.
DeMar Hamlin in the crowd watching.
Did you see what he said after the game?
Get your refund.
Get your refund.
Get your refund. All right, so there's the matchup. Bengals-Chiefs coming up in the second game on Sunday. Of course, all 4 teams trying to punch their ticket to this year's Super Bowl.
And the Spurs play tonight against Portland. They're on the road. I think if I recall correctly, I was all wrapped up in the Cowboys and I really wasn't paying attention to the Lakers and the Trailblazers last night. I think the Trailblazers blew a 25-point lead last night.
Oh, did they?
And lost to the Lakers?
I have no idea. I was really focused on NFL this weekend
I was all into the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah. Man. So and we could spend a lot more time kind of dissecting all. And somebody else also said yes. And we will. No doubt about that.
We will.
All right, Dave, thank you. Sarah.
Oh, thanks, guys. That was, I really was paying attention. I'm just very I'm upset.
Distraught?
Yes, I'm distraught. I'm upset about the Cowboys.
Join the club.
It's hard being a Cowboys fan. Someone's got to do it. All right. 9:41, 49 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9. Coming up, we'll head to Graceland for the emotional final goodbye to Lisa Marie Presley. We'll hear from those who spoke at her celebration of life.
An emotional final goodbye to Lisa Marie Presley. She was laid to rest at Graceland this weekend.
As ABC's Derek Dennis reports, her mother Priscilla and Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, were among some of the speakers at the ceremony.
A celebration of life for Lisa Marie Presley, laid to rest at Graceland. Nearly 5,000 mourners attending at the Memphis home made famous by her rock legend father, Elvis.
Mama was my icon, my role model, my superhero, in much more ways than one.
Priscilla Presley, Lisa Marie's mother, reading a poem written by her granddaughter.
She knew it was close to the end. Survivors, guilt, some would say, but a broken heart was the doing of her death.
Lisa Marie was laid to rest next to her son Benjamin, who died by suicide in 2020. Family friend Duchess Sarah Ferguson spoke at Sunday's memorial service.
My late mother-in-law used to say that nothing can be said can begin to take away the anguish and the pain of these moments, because grief is the price we pay for love.
So did Jerry Schilling with her at the Golden Globes, Elvis's best friend and former talent manager, remembering when Lisa Marie was born.
I had never held a baby before, and we're in the kitchen, and Elvis just hands me Lisa. And I sure as hell wasn't going to drop her, you know.
The memorial service punctuated by music.
Our heart is broken, Lisa, and we all love you.
Lisa Marie leaves behind her mother, 3 daughters, including 14-year-old twins and a granddaughter. Her cause of death has not been determined yet. Officials are waiting toxicology results. Derek Dennis, ABC News, New York.
49 degrees at 9:47. Are those clouds,
Those
Justin?
are clouds.
Okay, is it happening? Is it starting to slowly move in that front?
Not yet.
Okay.
These are just some precursor clouds. Nothing to worry about. I think we'll still see a lot of sun today. It's tonight when those clouds really start to thicken up.
Like how late tonight? I know it's early morning hours.
Yeah, I'd say around midnight we're going to start to see some showers on the radar, and then it's tomorrow morning, the commute that's going to be kind of messy. I'd say between 7 a.m. and noontime, we'll be watching the radar very closely. And we'll be here to keep you up to date. Have that KSAT weather app with you because we plan to do what we call our app casts, where we can get on the app with you and just discuss the weather and keep you up to date on what's going on. This is a satellite picture right now, and there is some of those clouds we were just seeing on live cam. Little tail of clouds here that'll move through, and then the sun's back out. But we've got thicker clouds off to the west, Uvalde, Lakey, Eagle Pass down to Katua. A lot of cloud cover right now. And yes, that's kind of the beginnings of what we're expecting with this storm system, which right now is still out across parts of Arizona, producing some good heavy snow there. Just starting to get its act together, but it will over the next 24 hours and work its way towards Texas. Things we have to consider here now, we are not going to see winter weather here in San Antonio at all, but folks in the Panhandle certainly will, and there are winter storm warnings already in effect. Winter advisories in effect, so Lubbock, Amarillo, over to Wichita Falls, those are areas that could see some heavy snow out of this, believe it or not. This is one of those dynamic systems. It's going to wrap in some cold air, but it's also going to give us lots of lift here, and hopefully that results in some good rain chances. 45 degrees at the airport, 47 Stinson, 48 Kelly, 45 at Randolph, and we've got an easterly wind right now, anywhere from 5 to 10. Expect that number to pick up today. We'll see some gusty winds as we head into the afternoon hours. 57 noontime. Then we jump into the low 60s for highs. Those winds anywhere from 10 to 15, but they could gust as high as 20 miles per hour. And then the skies start to become cloudy overnight. The clouds thicken up and we'll go mostly cloudy by 9 p.m., 53 degrees. Here's a look at the forecast. And as we get into the afternoon, this is still showing mostly sunny skies. Again, out west, it's going to be a cloudier day. Places like Del Rio and Eagle Pass. And then by midnight tonight, we're starting to see the showers popping up. This is mostly light stuff at this point, and San Antonio's rain chance is only 20%, but by 6 a.m. we're bringing this up to 60%. We've got fairly widespread activity here with some downpours, some showers. There could be a few storms mixed in, and I certainly think that's the case tomorrow morning around 9 a.m. We bring our rain chances up to 70%. We're seeing these pockets of rain. There could be some heavier rain mixed in there. And then this is where we could start to see a few thunderstorms developing. It looks like we'll get a line of showers and storms right around midday, and a strong storm could be mixed in there. We're not looking for widespread severe weather, but maybe some gusty winds with some of these stronger storms. And then they quickly push east. So by 2 o'clock, our eastern counties are seeing the storms, and then those will quickly move away. We'll get windy conditions on the backside of this too. In fact, gusts to 35 miles per hour out of the northwest possible as we head into Tuesday night. What about rainfall potential? I'd say Hondo, Bandera, Pearsall over to San Antonio, about half an inch to an inch. Then as you go east of San Antonio, you're talking about 1 inch to 2 inches. Out west, probably quarter to half. It's the kind of the typical setup here with the best rainfall east of I-35. But we're hoping that everyone at least gets in on some of the rain and that we do get some good numbers. Severe weather-wise, again, there's really not a big issue with that. We're going to be watching some of those storms tomorrow morning. But the greater risk for severe weather will be over towards Houston and along the Texas Gulf Coast. If there are any warnings, we'll certainly be here to let you know. 60 tomorrow, 70% chance of showers and storms early. And then 61 Wednesday, 58 Thursday. Look at the morning lows into the 30s. There will be some places down to freezing Thursday morning. And then some clouds Saturday, 40% chance of rain. Another small chance Sunday. The temperatures are cool after this storm passes. And we'll see some cold mornings as well.
Humidity, though, after the storm?
It'll be gone. Yeah, the rest of the work week, it'll feel fairly dry outside.
Oh, like this weekend?
Pretty much, yep.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, Justin.
You got it.
Right now, 9:51, 49 degrees.
We'll be right back. All right, let's take one last look at the roads with our traffic authority. We had some incidents during the show, but it looks like everything has cleared up at this time. If you're going to be out and about, be safe, and hopefully you'll have some nice weather, Justin.
Yeah, the sun's out. We're at 50 degrees right now. We just jumped up to 50. We've got that 70% chance of rain, though, coming up tomorrow morning especially. So keep that in mind for the Tuesday morning commute. It goes to about midday. Then we'll get some clearing late tomorrow, but it turns windy. And we'll be here for you. We're going to have the appcasts up and ready to go. What are appcasts, you ask? Well, if you get on the KSAT weather app, you'll be able to follow along for us. It's basically weather on demand, and we'll be letting you know what's going on as far as if not necessarily severe weather coverage, but just rain, if there's rain around or if it's impacting your commute. We'll be here to let you know what's going on.
You're not expecting anything severe, any sort of flash flooding, anything like that?
Not really, no.
Okay.
I think flash flooding is probably not going to be much of an issue because it's been so dry. I think we can handle an inch of rain or so, and that's kind of the amount that we're expecting. But it'd just be sort of that thing where it's been a while since we had to use the windshield wipers or there's puddles on the road. It's just something different.
And therein lies my other concern, too. It's been long enough without significant moisture. We've got dust and dirt and grime on the road. So with that combination, at least at the beginning of the event, winds up making for slick streets.
Very good point.
Please be safe out there. Have a wonderful Monday.